You want a really simple trick for separating yourself from other real estate agents out there when it comes to sitting down with buyers and sellers, prospects, and walking away from that meeting and having them be like, oh my God, that was amazing. Then this video is for you. So a lot of times we sit down with prospects, buyers, prospects, sellers, prospects, and we go through our little Q&A. Maybe we give them a listing presentation or a buyer's presentation at the same time. But before we can actually get into our presentation, we have to do our due diligence, and we've got to ask that prospect a series of questions. We've got to learn what their needs and their wants and their wishes are, and make sure we incorporate that into the services that we're going to provide. But very, very routinely, what happens is we're feverishly taking notes, right, on what it is that they want from this transaction. And we're also trying to look at them. We're trying to focus. We're trying to remain attentive. And what routinely happens? We miss stuff. Okay. And we're like, oh, I'm going to remember that little detail. We never do. Right. So when we go back and we give our presentation, then the prospect's like, well, what about this? Or I had mentioned this, right? And now all of a sudden there's a little doubt in their mind that you as the real estate professional, you're missing key points that they want in that transaction. Never again. Never again. And this is so easy. Anyone can do it. Okay. So little backstory, just so you understand why this works and how I came across this. In our marketing agency, we onboard our clients. New clients come on. And so it's part of the onboarding process. We talk a lot about their brand, where their brand is, where they want their brand to go, the steps that we need to take. Then we talk about other things like what their social and their videos need to look like and so on and so forth. And I would do the same thing. I would sit down there and I would try to feverishly take notes and also be attentive at the same time. And I would miss things. There would be holes. And then when there's holes and I take all of this information and I convey it over to my team, now my team's already starting in a deficit because they didn't get all the information that was discussed in that onboarding meeting. So a few months ago, what I started to do is I started to take my cell phone, or if I was doing this virtually on Zoom, and I would start to record that call so that I had a transcript of every single word that was said in that onboarding meeting. And as a real estate agent, this is what I want you to consider to do. When you meet with a prospect, I want you to record the call so you don't miss a single want, need, wish that prospect has for the upcoming transaction. And what this will also allow you to do is not take as many notes, so you really can be focused and attentive on your prospect. Okay. But before you okay, I got it, Kevin, I'm off, thanks. Here's where it gets better. Okay. And this is where your competitors are going to fall and you're going to rise. The tool that I started to use is called Otter AI. And it's OTTER.ai. You can buy it. There's a free version. I'm not crazy about the free version, but you can buy a monthly subscription. It's, I think, $16.99 a month at the time of this recording. And you can install Otter AI on your cell phone. You can also install it on your laptop. So for virtual meetings on my laptop, Zoom meetings, Google Meet, you can record that using Otter. For in-person meetings, you can use your cell phone. Here's where it gets cool. So you take your cell phone, you sit down in a house, you meet with a seller's prospect. You go through all of their wants, their needs, their wishes, and before the meeting begins, you say, I'm going to record this on my phone so that I don't miss a single detail. I don't miss a single want or need or wish that you have. And you can start the recording. Put your phone upside down if you want to, so they can't see the screen, because Otter will automatically start to transcribe everything that's being said. And you can actually watch the transcription if you want to on Otter. That's why I say turn it upside down. You don't want it to be a distraction with your prospect. And then here's the cool part. When that transcript is done and you're done with your meeting and you, let's say, go back out to your car, I would take that transcript and I would actually feed that into ChatGPT. And I would tell ChatGPT or give it a prompt to extract every single want, need, wish, concern that the prospect had. And let's regurgitate that out into an email that is personable, but yet professional, that sounds like you, the real estate agent, in your tone and your voice and so on and so forth. And then obviously take a look, make sure it didn't miss anything, make sure there's no mistakes in there. And then you're going to fire that email off to the prospect before you even leave their driveway. What have you done? First of all, there's no holes, okay? You didn't miss a single detail. Second of all, speed. You now recap that entire meeting and looked extra professional before you even left their driveway. Whereas most real estate agents are going back to the office and they may get around to an email the next day and there's going to be holes in that email, okay? You just blew their socks off by your level of professionalism and your excellence by doing this one little thing. And here's a couple tips and tricks to make it easier. So you can do this both virtually for Zooms, Google Meets, and in-person meetings. And if you want, Otter has what's called a live summary feature. So as it's transcribing, and let's say maybe your laptop's sitting there, you're recording that conversation, you can glance over at that and it will actually start to give you bullet points in real time of what is being said. So maybe, you heard something really important, but it's not the time to bring that back up in your meeting. You want to wait a few minutes, you can glance over, you can look at your computer and you can be like, oh yeah, I forgot. You wanted a saltwater pool, right? Don't say I forgot, but yeah, the importance of having a saltwater pool to you, I totally understand. And that is something that we can actually be very particular for in our searches, blah, 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 blah. You get it, right? So Otter also has a couple other ways to make life easy. The big one in this particular instance is you can actually go in and you can create folders in Otter. So you can have a folder for a listing presentation, for a buyer's presentation, so on and so forth. And so as soon as that transcript is done, as soon as you're done recording that meeting, it will go into one of those folders. And here's the cool thing. You can start to automate this, okay? Which is going to make speed even bigger. And speed wins in business more times than not. So how do we automate this? Super simple. We're going to use a third tool. Okay, so we've got Otter AI. We're talking about ChatGPT. We're going to introduce in Zapier. Now, don't get intimidated. Don't get scared because Zapier has what are called zaps. And zaps are just, you're basically, there's a trigger and then an action that Zapier takes, and they call that a zap. But they have walkthroughs on how to send stuff from Otter to ChatGPT. The work is 95% done for you. You just have to go in there, walk through those processes with Zapier, and fill in a few blanks, fill in a few details. Super easy. Zapier has a free version. They also have some different paid options, and it's a tool that once you start to use it, you'll start to use it even more and in more cases and scenarios. But you can create a zap that says, if this transcript, okay, hits this folder, I want you to take that and automatically run that over and upload that to ChatGPT. And I want you to give ChatGPT these instructions. Create an email that goes in and extracts every want, wish, need that the prospect has for selling their house, for buying their house. And then I want you to craft a recap email back to the prospect that includes all of those. I want you to put it in my voice and my tone. The average length should be no more than, pick a length, 500 words. I don't know, whatever you want to go with. And then by the time you get to your car, it's already there. It's ready to go. And all you have to do is take a look at that email that GPT has put together, make a few changes, make a few tweaks, make sure there's no mistakes in it, and boom, you send it off to your prospect. Super simple. Let's take it up even one more notch. Here's what I would actually do. But this is going to be just a little tiny bit more complex should you want to go down this road. So, going to use Otter. We're going to use Zapier to create a Zap. But instead of taking that transcript and uploading it to ChatGPT, we're going to go into ChatGPT and we're going to create a custom GPT. And a custom GPT, you go in and you train ChatGPT on something that you're going to use over and over and over again. So you'll have a custom GPT just for crafting these emails, and you're going to upload some transcripts to it. You're going to train it on what to pull out, and then you're going to train it on exactly how to form this email, how it should sound like, what the tone should be, what the length should be, so on and so forth. So it's the same process as what we talked about previously with taking that transcript and taking it over to ChatGPT. But this is on steroids because you've done a lot of pre-work and pre-training by creating this custom GPT within ChatGPT. And by the way, you can only do custom GPTs or create those with the paid version of ChatGPT, $20 a month, completely worth it. I would absolutely not think twice about having a paid ChatGPT subscription. But this will now allow you to walk out to your car before you even turn the key, before you even put the seatbelt on. You have an amazing email that is ready to go that required no work on your part after that meeting. Okay? The work already took place, and it's something you can repeat for every single prospect going down the road. So, Otter to Zapier to ChatGPT, or Otter to Zapier to a custom GPT. Guys, I'm telling you right now, this is so simple. I would be recording every single meeting, regardless of what you do. And I would be using this starting today. If you've got questions, if you've got comments, if I didn't explain something properly, leave a comment down below, shoot me a DM, find me out there on the socials. Be happy to answer any questions that you have. And do me a huge favor, because this helps us with the algorithms, whether it's YouTube or the podcast, and this helps to get our content in front of more people. Make sure to hit that subscribe, like, and follow button on whatever platform you're looking on. So guys, hope this helps. Go out there and do some amazing things with your prospects starting today.